on November 23, 1773, the Dartmouth, the East Indian Company ship, came to deliver 114 chests of tea. So then thousands of American colonists every day would stop the tea from getting delivered. And so basically the tea just stayed on board there. And then two other ships came, the Eleanor and the Beaver.
Why did they stop it from being delivered?
Because they didn't want to pay the tax for the tea, so they stopped it from coming. So they thought if the tea wasn't getting delivered, then they didn't have to buy it and that they didn't have to pay tax for it.
Gotcha.
And so then, in the same year, December 1773, the American colonists dressed up as the Mohawks, a Native American tribe. The attack was led by Samuel Adams. He was one of the founding fathers, and he was an activist for the Stamp Act and the Boston Tea Party. And then 60 Sons of Liberty dressed up as the Mohawks, the Native American tribe. The Sons of Liberty were basically a group of protesters who didn't like the British and were rebellious. So then they got on board the ships, and then they started
How many ships were there?
There were 3 ships.
3 ships.
The Dartmouth, the Beaver, and the Eleanor.
Awesome.
And they were all East Indian Company ships. And so the American colonists, or the 60 Sons of Liberty, would climb onto the ships. They would open the boxes of the pouches of tea, and then they would throw them overboard.
So how much tea are we talking?
A little bit over 342 chests of tea was thrown overboard.
Do we know how much a chest would hold?
So no, not really, because the two other ships were never determined how much tea they had. But we know that the Dartmouth had 114 chests of tea.
Wow. Okay.
And so after the attack, the British were angry. So they decided to punish the Boston protesters by setting in the Intolerable Acts, or the Townshend Acts, which taxed all imported goods. And it was really bad because almost all of the goods that the American colonists were getting were from Britain, which means that they were imported. And so they had to pay a tax for it.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So I see you have the Sons of Liberty. What exactly does that?
The Sons of Liberty were groups of protesters who called themselves that because they stand for liberty, and they didn't like the British and they were rebellious against them. There were a bunch of Sons of Liberty groups in in a bunch of colonies, different colonies, but this was the most famous this was the most famous representation of the Sons of Liberty standing against the British.
And how was it all resolved?
So I don't think it was resolved. I don't think any of them were happy. So they destroyed the chest of tea, and Britain punished them by giving the Intolerable Acts to them.
And what are those intolerable acts? Is there lots of them?
I think so, but the most famous one, because they called the Intolerable Acts the Townshend Acts. The Townshend Acts were it just said that you had to pay a tax for any imported good, and which meant that like an imported good is like a good that you got from another country. So like since Britain is on another continent, then they would call that imported, and so they would have to pay a tax on it. And almost all of American colonists' goods were were from Britain, so they would be imported goods. So they had to pay a tax for them.
Thank you so much, baby.
So say that